Hey, I'm Sandra Lawrence, the passion enthusiast, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today or this video is going to be about the challenges I faced or I have faced so far or I'm still facing and how I dealt with them or I'm currently still dealing with them. And yeah, so the first video I made for my YouTube channel was like the previous video I've made. By the way, if you've not watched it, please Echo, go ahead to watch the video and leave a comment or like and subscribe. So like I said in my previous video, I'm a self-taught fashion designer, meaning that I learned most of the things I know myself, if not everything I know myself. So the first one I'm going to be putting out there is comparison, in the sense that sometimes it still happens now, but it's just that now I'm consciously working on that aspect of being a self-taught fashion designer, because most times I figure out that I tend to compare myself to bigger brands, to bigger fashion designers, to people that have been doing their work since like God knows when. So I figured out that most times I compare myself to them. Like I'm like, oh, see how good they are. Why can't I be this good? Why can't I be this, that? Why can't my works be this, that? But yeah, this is not good for your mental and your general growth in general. If you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I figured out it was actually affecting me because why am I comparing myself? Because I'm like, I think thing that you actually tend to ignore is that most of these people, they started since 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years. Like they've been doing their own work since God knows when. And me that I'm just a newbie in this thing, or you that you're just starting, you're comparing yourself to them, and I'm like, why? Like, why are you actually doing that to yourself? So something I do when it comes to that is that most times, because like most people here will know, I'm actively active. I'm mostly active on Instagram. So what I do is that most times when I go to Instagram and I want to follow a fashion designer or a fashion brand, I actually scroll down. Me, I have time like that. If I like your work if I like your work, I automatically have time for you and your life. I'm gonna stalk you, not stalking like the bad way, but I'm just literally going to like follow you through your journey, through your growth. So I literally go scroll down to their first post, even if you have 1 million posts. Sometimes you might have that type of time. I scroll down to your first post and I just it's like if I go to your page on Instagram and I like your works, I don't just start looking at your work from like the first post you have on your page, from like the recent post you have on your page, the most recent post. I scroll down to the bottom to like the first post you ever made on your page, and even if some people delete their posts, well, I just scroll down to like the first post, and I feel that most like some of these brands they've been working since like 2014, 2012, even 2010. And me that I started work like 2021 and compare myself to them, there's no way that is meant to be possible. But yeah, I'm just saying that you shouldn't ignore the fact that they are running their own race. Like, so that is what I just use to work on myself when it comes to comparing myself with better fashion designers. They're literally reaping their labor, like the fruits of their labor. So why are you comparing yourself to them? So now the second one that I faced and sometimes I still face is imposter syndrome. Man, do you know how many times I've cried because of this? This one is actually very, very, very serious. So now there was a period, or like even it still happens now. So the way imposter syndrome works is that you want to do something but you don't believe in yourself that you can do this thing. Like you're very scared of doing it. And something that I started realizing about the way imposter syndrome works for me is that most times, like when I get either an order, like a client's order that I've never made before, or I want to start doing something that I've never made before, I want to just design something I've never made before, I usually get this fear in me that will I be able to do this? What if I flop? What if it's not fitting them? Like what if it doesn't fit them? Like what if it doesn't fit me? What if I just have to, like, eventually it will be a waste of fabric? But yeah, one thing I noticed is that most times when I have these thoughts in me, automatically the work will just not turn out well. Like automatically there's no way that work is going to be fine. Like it's like, I don't know, but I feel that's how life works. But it's like when I want to do something and I'm already bad mouthing or saying negative things about that, it eventually doesn't really work out the way I want it to work. So something I try to do most times is to just breathe, like to just let myself assimilate the fact that I'm literally a self-taught fashion designer, and note that most things I'm saying, you might also need them to if you're not even a self-taught fashion designer, because I feel these are things that happens in like the fashion designing world. What I just try to do is just to breathe in and just come to the fact that if I still make a mistake eventually, I'm still going to have to redo it, because I still have to redo it. So it's just like, if I'm not in the mood, then I won't even touch the outfit. I'll just let myself flow with the vibe, and just know that I know it is okay for you to actually have the imposter syndrome. Like, it is okay for you to feel that there's some things that you can't do. It's okay to have the fear of failure, but what is not okay is you not trying it because you feel you won't get it. It's better to actually try it out and fail and redo it than for you to just let it go. It's like you should know your level. Let me say, like, okay, it's like if it's someone like that is a beginner, you should try things that only beginners can try. And me, I find that very wrong. Fine, you have to acknowledge the fact that you're also a beginner. Like, you shouldn't fly, like you shouldn't want to do things that are too big, like that you can actually handle. But you should also have the urge, the urge to want to do better things, to want to do bigger things. You should also find the fact that I'm a self-taught fashion designer doesn't mean that okay, I'm just going to sit back and I want to try things that maybe even like the biggest fashion designers in the world can try. That's not how it works. It shouldn't stop you from trying out new things, like exploring your ideas and just exploring how far you can go with fashion designing. The third challenge that I faced while starting as a self-taught fashion designer was lack of self-confidence. And the way this thing works is like, I don't know, but it just shows like automatically if you have self-confidence in what you're doing. Like, it's not, I'm not saying like general self-confidence in all aspects of your life, but I faced a challenge because sometimes like some clients will actually message me, and then just because I don't feel that I can do this thing, or like I'm worth being paid this amount, I would rather just take the small money they want to give me, like the small, like the underpayments that they want to make for their outfit. I would just take it because I'm like, yeah, it's still something, at least they still want to get my work. But then I'm like, why? Like, why? So I was really suffering with my self-confidence because like on a normal day I'm just quite shy, like very reserved person. So me having to put myself out there and to want to actually charge the amounts that I feel that I'm worth, it was like a bit hard for me. Like it was quite hard for me to actually overcome that. So it's like you see me charging like very low amounts for the things that will actually charge me higher to get them done. Like someone that actually really knows about fashion, or like when a client that really comes to you and they're like, oh, they want to make this outfit, and then they ask you for the price, and then you tell them, they're like, for this clothes, why is it just for this clothes? Or like some of them say like, oh, that even after bringing out my fabric, that why is this expensive? But I'm like, bruh, like that's the amount I charge. If you can't pay it, if you can't pay it, like just. So something that really helped me was actually learning to know my worth. To know that, okay, like Sandra, this is what you have to offer, and if they can't actually afford you, or if they feel you're so expensive, or if you feel you're too small in the industry to be paid this amount, fine, no problem. It's okay to walk away. People that will still love your work, people that will still want to patronize you, people that might even want you to make all the clothes in their wardrobe are still out there, and I'm coming for all of them one by one. Just keep saving your money for me. But yeah, it's like doing your work to actually know when to tell a client that I can't work with your price, I can't work with this, so maybe you should check back next time, or like some other time if you have the money saved up, or if you have or if you still want to get the outfits. But it's like the lack of self-confidence actually really affected me while I was starting. But yeah, I feel most people, especially well, don't quote me, but I feel most people, especially in the African world, I feel we actually face these things because but I'm going to speak from my own side as a Nigerian. So it's like, I feel it's just recently, like probably since after lockdown, which was 2020, that most people started embracing the online world per se, yeah, and the whole technology, because most of our parents like very hard. So the first one I actually faced was discouragement from people. And when I mean discouragement from people, it was not just like even friends. Like I got so many. Oh, why are you just wasting your time? Are you sure you're serious with this? Oh, some people said that. Oh, it's probably because her father has the money, so she's just probably trying to waste to just play around and just waste time. So she's ready to go for a masters. This, that. My parents, because my parents are like my parents, especially my dad, is like he's more of like the 9 to 5 person. So he's more of like, oh, read your books to pass. After reading your books, you go to your masters and this, that. See, it was quite hard for people, for my parents to embrace the fact that, okay, I like fashion. Even if right from birth, they've been calling me a model. But yeah, that's how our parents are. So apart from but I understand where my parents came from, because they are more of like, okay, well, they feel that it's more of like a 9 to 5 that actually works for most people. Like you make more money from 9 to 5. So I understand the fact that they were just looking out for me. But the part that I didn't get was when it comes to friends or people that I didn't even know from Adam and Eve, or people that, and I'm like, what's your business? Like if you don't have anything to see, can you leave? Can you actually leave? But yeah, there were even times that people will call me, or like I'm just talking to my friends, and then they're just like, oh, they're doing this thing, and they're laughing at me. They're like, somebody even said everybody I know, every lady I know now is a fashion designer, and I'm like, I'm Sandra Lawrence, the fashion enthusiast. Do you think it's easy to have that name and be as good as I am? Like, do you think it's actually easy? But yeah, it was. Even to now, some people still say, oh, what do you want to do after school? Are you probably still wasting your time? Are you probably still playing? And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next year. I don't know what's going to happen next 5 years, but I'm currently in this. So please let me be myself. Let me do what I want to do. There were times that there was one that I remember somebody, I like keeping this type of things because they're like motivating me, not from like a point of anger, but it's just like, why are they saying that I can't do this thing? I know I can't do this thing, so I'm going to make sure that I do this thing. So it's like, someone even said that, oh, that whenever they see me post that I'm a software fashion designer, that they just start laughing and they just feel that I'm just playing up. And I'm like, it was quite hard for me to go through that phase, because I'm like, can't you just say something nice? Like, I know that your life is bitter, but then at least try your best. When it comes to my own life, try your best to just say something nice. Not if your opinion really matters. So something that I really did when it came to that angle was to talk to people that I know that actually believe in me. Talk to people that I know that see the future. Because some people are just stuck inside their underground mentality. I'm going to put it like that. But I just try to have people in my circle, people around me that actually believe in the future. Because come next 10 years, and your Lawrence is not gonna be a small girl. So yeah, I just try to always, even if it's just one person, yeah, which is literally just 1 or 2 people that I really talk to, like when it comes to my plan, because there's this thing that Bonaba mentioned in the song, is that be careful of the dreams you share, because some people don't like to see what is in front of them. I've forgotten the way he said it at the end of that song. Go and listen to it. But yeah, the name of the song is Wild Dreams. So what I tried to do was to know who I actually talk to. So when it comes to my sewing, even my life in general, because like I feel as I grew older, I'm just like, not even older, as so many things start happening, I'm just like, just cutting off people. So I just try to talk I try my best as much as possible to talk to, even if it's just 1 or 2 people that actually understand what being an entrepreneur is, what chasing your dream is, what's being in your life, what being a lady, what being, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, I just try to talk to them. So when everybody, because sometimes if you keep listening to people that are like, oh, are you sure you can do this thing? Are you sure you'll be able to do this thing? Go and sell something, go and learn a skill, go and, for what I have in the skill, go and learn something, go and learn IT, go and learn this. I've heard go and learn IT. Everybody, go and learn IT. IT is this, I do that. But that is not my calling. So yeah, most times when they actually said those things, because I have this very soft heart towards people, is like, oh, are you sure I shouldn't try this thing? Should I not try something? But then just having, even if it's just one person that could talk me out of it, that could actually knock my head per se and say, Sandra, remember where you said you want to be next 5 years? Remember where you said you want to be next 10 years? It actually helps me a lot, and it still helps me now. Because now, funny enough, now everybody that said, oh, we're just playing, you're not saying like, oh, Sandra, I'm so proud of you, I'm so this. Some of them are even stalking my life. Now I can proud, but yeah, they are actually stalking my life. Like, so yeah, that one was also something that I had to face while starting. And the last but not the least was overworking myself. You see, this one, I suffered 2021. And when I say I suffered, you see, this overworking myself. It showed me shady. I was sweating like this. But yeah, overworking yourself, I feel from my own standpoint, I feel there were so many things that caused this. Number one is greed. And yes, don't look at me anyhow. Number one is greed. The fact that you want to keep taking money, you don't want to reject money. And it is okay to actually see, it is okay to charge whatever you want to charge. It is okay to make money. It is okay to say your client, to tell your clients whatever. It is okay to actually like money. But when it starts becoming greed, I feel that is the issue I had. That's one of the issues I had, sorry, when it came to overworking myself, because I literally have this amount of work. But Sandra, stop accepting clients. She does not want to stop, because I felt I was a woman. And funny enough, I was working alone then. I didn't have my intern then, so it was like I'm the one doing literally cutting, drafting, sewing, sourcing for fabrics, packaging, going to deliver it. And I'm like, not like I was going there to deliver it, but like delivery, starting out delivery. I was trying to one handling everything. But you see me still taking more work than I can handle. So I had to actually learn the hard way. After overworking myself knocked me down, I had to learn that it is okay to say no. I have to learn to know when to stop. I have to learn to know when to say no. I have to learn to know how to handle all these things. It's never compulsory you say no to clients. You can literally just tell them that, oh, that your clothes will be ready either in a month time, either if you can wait. But I didn't know all these things, and I just kept taking the money because I didn't want to disappoint anybody, and I felt, oh, money is a do or die. But yeah, so that one actually affected me. Another thing under overworking myself, I don't know when to stop, it's like I don't know when to stop sewing. Fine, I love sewing, but sewing should not be a do or die. Like, someone like me, even till now I still do this, so I'm not trying to attack anybody, because it's something I still have a very bad habit of doing. Is like I sew from morning to night. Sometimes Mondays to Sundays to Fridays. Sundays to Saturdays. I'm sewing. I'm literally sewing morning to night. It was getting so much, because I'm telling you that 2021. So I even made a video of this, but I couldn't post it. 2021, towards the end of 2021, it really showed me fire, because I'm like, I was sick. I even had COVID that time, and I broke down basically. Like I almost even quit fashion. I almost even quit fashion design. That is how bad this thing was. I almost quit. Imagine me that I love doing this thing. I almost quit fashion design just because I was overworking myself. I literally did not know when to stop. I was just when afternoon and time saying. So what I started doing when it comes to that is, yeah, after knowing when to stop, it's just like I have to create a schedule that works for me. So what I do sometimes now is, not sometimes, most times, Mondays to Fridays are for clients' outfits, or like if I don't really have so many orders to work with, which happens once in a while, and it's not a bad thing, I just work on my outfits. But you see, on Saturdays and Sundays, if it's to sleep throughout these days or throughout those 2 days, nobody should stress me. If it's to watch movies, if it's to even stay inside the room and they will not see my brake lights outside, that is what I do just for weekends. If it's to go out, if it's to party, count me in during weekends. So I just try to do that, and just understand the fact that if I keep working, if I break down, like, because for me to get to the point where I almost quit, that is what overworking myself cost. Yeah, that is what it cost. So I just had to work on knowing when to stop, knowing when to breathe, knowing when to take breaks, because breaks are really, really important. So those are the challenges, like, if not all of them, the biggest challenges that I had to face, or that I still face sometimes now, as a self-taught fashion designer or even a fashion designer. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you could relate to any of the problems or the challenges that I faced. Comment in the comment sections, and yeah, let's interact. So yeah, guys, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to try as much as possible to drop more tips and the rest, but yeah, this thing is not easy. So yeah, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and you could even share links. Like, I won't bite you. And yeah, also follow me on Instagram at Sandra Lawrence with double underscore for more beautiful outfits. I'm online. Go to my page and check it, and you'll see it. Till next time, be expecting my new video very soon. Bye.